Welcome back to the GTN Show. This week in the world of triathlon, Kristian Blummenfelt has announced his comeback to Ironman racing with a bang. Some beef between Hayden, Wilde and Alex Yee at the SuperTri, a new Deca Ultra Triathlon record, and last but by no means least, Daniela Ryf has announced a retirement from racing. Well, kicking things off with some of the things I spotted on social media this past week, and this one has really got people talking. Alex Yee and Hayden Wilde at this weekend's SuperTri in Boston. So Alex Yee won the event. I'll get onto the results for all of this later on. And in doing so, and crossing the line, he crosses his arms, sort of replicating the football superstar Kilian Mbappe's celebration, which could look a little bit cocky, I guess, given he has just won the Paris Olympics. Maybe like the ego has gone to his head. If I'm honest, I think he's just enjoying it, just kind of having a bit of fun with it. However, Hayden Wilde didn't look so happy just behind him as he crossed the line, kind of a little bit bemused as to what he was doing and a bit fed up. Now, the context behind this is Hayden did a heck of a lot of work, particularly in the latter stages of the race on the bike, and it seemed like Alex Yee maybe didn't towards the end of the race. He did earlier on, but arguably in the last triathlon did not, and seemed a bit unimpressed, and went on to say so in another post from SuperTri. Now, despite it getting a lot of traction on social media, a lot of people kind of getting quite heated in the comments, I think this is fun, really. This is great for the sport to see this kind of rivalry, a little bit of heat every so often, and I do think there is no love lost between Hayden and Alex. It's just the kind of heat of the moment. But yeah, it did get you guys talking on social media, that's for sure. Next one, this is from Ironman Frankfurt this weekend. Again, I'll get on to the results of this very shortly, but Patrick Lange unboxed a pair of special prototype Adidas shoes, but not just unboxed them, he had to take out ice packs and all sorts. So it seems like these prototype shoes need to be kept super cold up until literally taking them out and wearing them. Unfortunately, we didn't really get to see Patrick tearing through Frankfurt on them. I mean, he did still run well, but he finished in 8th place, and I guess quite below par for him in terms of his performance. Another post that has really caught my eye and is ongoing, actually, Kilian Jornet, the love in my life, or one of, I'm joking, is undertaking an epic challenge at the moment. It's posted here, one man, one mountain range, one journey. This is Alpine Connections. So it's a quest to connect as many 4,000 metre summits in the Alps as possible, relying solely on human-powered means and local resources. I don't actually know how many 4,000 metre summits there are in the Alps, but I'd imagine a heck of a lot. So just to give you a bit of an example, stage 3 here involved a total distance of 143 kilometres. He took in 6 4,000 metre peaks, a total time of 34 hours and 42 minutes. Elevation gain, 8,778, so almost Everested there. He basically, after completing the summits, had a 15-minute nap and then hopped on a bike for 40 kilometres to link up the next part of the adventure. So pretty phenomenal. And also on stage 1, he actually had 210 kilometres of solo cycling between the peaks too. So quite a phenomenal undertaking. He's more or less just doing this every day until he basically completes this. So yeah, worth giving him a follow and seeing how he gets on with this. Quite phenomenal. And also staying in the ultra world, we had Leadville 100 this weekend, which is a massive ultra marathon running race. And the long-standing 19-year-old record for the men was absolutely shattered by David Roche. He broke that record by 16 minutes and 15 seconds, posting a new record time of 15 hours, 26 minutes and 34 seconds. Whew. That is fast, over 100 miles. Mary Denholm set the second fastest time for the women and, yeah, was a clear winner there too. So, yeah, very impressive racing. And finally, Javi Gomez is off to race Xterra Costa Rica, to be specific. He's also the 2012 Xterra World Champion, if you had forgotten. So very excited to see him hitting up some Xterra again, and also just to see Javi Gomez racing. So, yeah, watch that space. We're now rolling on to the Tri news and starting with, well, quite an announcement. Daniela Ryf, who has a combined record of 10 Ironman world titles with 5 victories at each the Ironman and the Ironman 70.3 World Championships, has announced her retirement. Now, she actually announced earlier this year that this would be her final year of racing. Derailed a little bit earlier on in the year around Ironman South Africa due to injury, but she was hoping to make a comeback again for the T100 in London just a few weeks ago. But she has just put this post up. Daniela Ryf is retiring. It's time. Unfortunately, I have to announce that I'm retiring early and won't be able to do any more races this year. My doctors have discovered the cause of the pain in my coccyx. The diagnosis is an inflammation at the end of the spinal cord. I've been treating it with the hope of being able to race towards the end of the year. We've tried everything to recover, but the treatment hasn't been as effective as we hoped. It's time to respect the signs my body has given me. I've regained solid fitness, but the injury prevents me from training the volume and intensity I need to get back to the top level. This year, my goal was to give it all one more time. The outcome is not what I hoped for, but knowing that we tried everything makes me feel at ease. I'm grateful for what I've achieved over the years and the incredible performances my body has delivered. I'm beyond thankful to my team, especially my coach, my girlfriend, and my friends and my family for their support. I'm grateful to my partners who have stood by my side, and I'm excited for our projects next year. Letting go of the goals I've set myself is hard and something I've never had to do before. This is why I've been struggling to make this decision, but my coach, my doctor, and I have decided it's the right thing to do for my long-term health. And it goes on. I mean, obviously, this is very big news. Daniela Ryf is arguably the GOAT in our sport. She really is quite phenomenal. The performances she has produced over the years has, well, been absolutely mind-blowing. We're also very thankful to her for her time and videos that she's given to us here at GTN, and do make sure you go check some of them out. But yeah, big farewell from us at GTN, but I suspect it probably won't be the last we'll see of Daniela. I hope she'll still stay within the triathlon world. Moving on, a world record in the Deca Ultra Triathlon. This comes from Ratasepp, who set this new record on the 11th of August at the IUTA World Cup Series in Estonia. He completed 10 full distance triathlons, Ironman distance, over 10 consecutive days in a total time of 99 hours, 49 minutes and 47 seconds, beating the previous record of 106 hours and 11 minutes. What's really impressive of this is that Rait actually went sub 10 hours for 7 of those 10, and only just the last few days just creeped over that 10-hour mark. So yeah, quite phenomenal. And also, not to do this any injustice, unfortunately Rait has set a rather high bar when it comes to Ironman challenges, but it takes nothing away from the challenge that Rob Mitchell is about to undertake. Now, Rob is a doctor in London and has literally just started 7 Ironmans in 7 consecutive days, and he's raising money for men's health charity Movember and the DMRC Benevolent Fund, which helps injured servicemen and women. So yeah, best of luck to you, Rob. We'll be tracking along and hopefully update you guys with it next week. And now on to What the Tech. Ever fancied changing your cleat position as you ride? No, me neither. But Shimano's got you covered if you do. Shimano's just issued a patent for the automatic adjustment of cleat positioning as you ride. The patent goes on to describe a wireless electronic system wherein the fore-aft and lateral positioning of the shoe can be altered relative to the cleat, with information collated from rider and bike sensors determining the exact positioning. Wow. Now, I know I joked at the start, but actually maybe there is something in this. Maybe if, I guess, you were able to pre-program 2 different settings. Now, I know the intended purpose is fine adjustments as you go, but if you were able to pre-program 2 positions, say one for flat TT setup and then one for when you're climbing up hills, maybe there are some legs in this for kind of hilly triathlon courses. Could be interesting. Let us know what you think in the comment section down below. And watch this space, I guess. And now on to the race news this weekend. We had so much racing, kicking off with the Ironman European Champs in Frankfurt, which is a men's only event. This saw a massive and a stacked pro field, with a few last minute and very exciting additions to that field, all going after that Kona qualification. So a few notable names. We had Kristian Blummenfelt, his first Ironman since Kona 2022, and also only just 13 days after the mixed team relay event at the Olympic Games. Also, Sam Long announced a rather last minute entry to the race, along with Patrick Lange racing, and also Trevor Foley off the back of a very impressive season so far, but also a lot of racing. So it would have been interesting to see how he gets on. And obviously many others. Straight from the off, there was drama in the swim with some unexpected big gaps to some athletes. It was Willem Hirsch that led out of the water. 15 seconds back, we had Kristian Blummenfelt. Patrick Lange, uncharacteristically, was over 4 minutes down in 31st, with Matt Hansen just behind. Sam Long, 7 minutes and 10 seconds down, with Trevor Foley also just behind. Now, the rain really came down on the bike. You saw it bouncing off the road and the athletes. Willem Hirsch continued to push on, opening up the gap over the initial 30 kilometres, having a gap of around a minute. Christian Hogenhoud, though, was moving through the field into second place and leading that chase group of 16 athletes. And by 45k, he managed to bridge up to Wilhelm at the front and soon after went solo off the front. Now, despite actually taking a spill on the bike, he still entered T2 in the lead with a very impressive bike split of 3 hours 57 and 9 seconds and a 2:44 advantage over the next chaser and 4:51 over Blummenfelt, who was sitting in third. Onto the run, Blummenfelt absolutely turned it on. By 3k, he moved up into second place, and then he took the lead in that first of the 4 laps of the run. But only 20 seconds behind was Kieran Linders from Great Britain, who's having a phenomenal day. Now, it wasn't without drama, though. Many of you may have seen on social media already, Kristian Blummenfelt had to stop near to halfway on the run to take a quick trip to the porta potty, which obviously would have cost him time as he was trying to pull that tri-suit back onto his arms. If anyone's had to do it before in a race, you know just how tough that is, with a wet and sweaty tri-suit. Despite all of this, he also managed to post a 2:32 marathon. And again, many of you may have seen, he vomited a bit on the run. So quite phenomenal to carry on and manage to post such a fast marathon split and take the win in a time of 7 hours, 27 minutes. It was Kieran Linders that managed to hang on for that second place. As I say, absolutely phenomenal performance by him. And Gregory Barnaby rounding out that podium in third. Patrick Lange having to settle for 8th place, which, yeah, not a great day for him. Sam Long way down in 22nd place. So, yeah, bit of a disappointing day for those two latter athletes, but yeah, phenomenal racing and great to see Kristian back, and also off the back of all the short distance racing. We also had Ironman Kalmar this weekend, which was women's only pro race. Marlene de Boer took the win there ahead of Katrine Christensen and Henrik Gerber. We also had Ironman Copenhagen, which was only an age group race. We didn't have any pro racing there, but I thought I'd mention this because in the 30 to 34 age group, the podium all rounded out in, well, under 8 hours or just over 8 hours. So get a load of this. First place, 7 hours, 54 minutes and 50 seconds. Second place, 7 hours, 59 minutes and 41 seconds. And third place, 8 hours, 3 minutes and 8 seconds. Absolute madness. And that is age group racing for you. Wow. Moving on to some much shorter racing, we had SuperTri Boston this weekend. So this actually took place over what was formerly known as the Enduro format. So it was a 300-metre swim, followed by a 4-kilometre bike and a 1.6-kilometre run, 3 times over continuously with no breaks in between. So yeah, pretty fast and furious. In the women's race, it was Jeanne Lahair that took the win ahead of Georgia Taylor-Brown in second and Kate Wolf in third. On the men's side, as I kind of spoiled already, Alex Yee took the win just ahead of Hayden Wilde and Dorian Connings in third. We also had EMBRUNMAN this weekend, very famous race over in France, a very tough race as well. Emma Billum took the win there ahead of Nina Deron in second and Nikita Pashkovich in third. The men's race, Louis Richards took the win ahead of Clement Grandy and Simon Vivian in third. We also had Ironman 70.3 Czech Republic, Petra Kurikova took the win there. And the men's, it was Leonard Arnold that took the win. Also going on at the moment, as we speak, we've got the World Triathlon World Championships or multi-sport World Championships going on. So numerous events each day. So far, we've had the Duathlon World Champs and also the World Cross Triathlon Champs, and there's many more still to come. We've got the Cross Duathlon Champs, the Aquathlon Champs, the Aquabike Champs, and also the Long Distance World Champs. So the Duathlon World Champs was won by Marion Legrand, and then on the men's side, Javier Martin Morales took the win there. And then the World Cross Tri Champs, we had Marta Mendito taking the win on the women's side. And on the men's side, it was Michele Bonacchina taking the win there from Italy. And now for Tri Spy, Guess the Athlete. Last week we had this image, which James seemed to think was far too easy. Well, the results are in. And it seems we did fool a few of you out there. We had Kristian Blummenfelt. We had a few Kristian Blummenfelts, actually. We also had a couple of Flora Duffys. And it was, in fact, Taylor Knibb. So a few of you got that right. Dakila Moiti, Dirk Talliard, and Ernest 2753. So well done, you guys. It was, in fact, Taylor Knibb. Here's the image from the mixed team relay at the Olympic Games. So, not so easy after all, James. Well, this week's image is this. Do your best. Say what? Okay, final bit of the show. A couple of comments that caught my eye under videos this past week. And these are notably from the Alex Yee workout video. So Koros and Alex Yee very kindly provided 3 of his workouts in the lead up to the Olympic Games, which, well, not only did we share, we also had a go at. Now, a couple of comments caught my eye. Michelle Lapunta said, props to swimming camera person following Mark back and forth. That seemed brutal. And yeah, good comment, because I don't think the camera guys get enough praise for the hard work that they do. I mean, I had to do 24 by 100, which I started out around 115 per 100 off like a 130, 135 turnaround. Now the camera person obviously needed to get all the shots and swim faster than me, so they were actually having to do about 110 per 100 to get in before me, and they were still having to do that for 130 turnaround with a camera in their hands, so really quite impressive. No, I joke, they didn't really have to. They did do a little bit back and forth though, so yeah, very impressive. Kama Under said, Mark doing Alex Yee run session wearing Hayden Wilde sunglasses is crack up. I did actually think about this before. I thought, God, maybe this isn't a good move. These are very notably Hayden Wilde sunglasses. It wasn't intentional. I wasn't trying to stir anything up. I just quite liked the sunglasses and I thought they'd be great. But yeah, funny that you spotted that, and they got quite a few likes. Anyway, that is it for the show this week. We have got a cracking video coming up this weekend, which I literally have just been filming and racing over in Germany with none other than Joe Skipper. So we've been doing basically a retro pro, Joe Skipper, on full retro kit versus me, modern amateur athlete. Can I beat Joe on all the latest tech and modern kit? Well, you just have to find out. Stay tuned.